I have to be clear that I admire Prince Harry's forthrightness, particularly with respect to his court cases with the newspapers. He's not one to shy away from controversy, but his admissions of past drug use in the memoir Spare have come back to haunt him in an unexpected way, and through the battleground of US immigration law and the current legal wrangling over whether his visa record should be made public has become a flashpoint, with Trump-aligned conservatives pushing for full disclosure, claiming that Harry either received preferential treatment or misrepresented his drug use while applying for residency in the United States. The outcome of the case could have serious implications for both Harry and the broader conversation around privacy, accountability, and political influence. In his 2023 memoir Spare, Prince Harry made candid admissions about his past drug use, and he described trying cocaine, though he found it unremarkable, was more positive about his experiences with marijuana, which he claimed really helped him. He also recounted taking psychedelic mushrooms, even hallucinating that a bathroom bin was talking to him. These revelations, while intended as part of a broader personal narrative, opened the door to serious legal questions, chiefly whether he truthfully disclosed his drug use on the US visa application. US visa applications ask applicants to disclose past drug use, and admitting to certain offences can be grounds for inadmissibility. While there are discretionary waivers that can be granted, they're not guaranteed, and many applicants with similar histories have been denied entry. The Heritage Foundation, a right-wing think tank, has argued that the fact that Harry was granted a visa despite his admissions suggests either special treatment by the Biden administration or dishonesty on his application. And the Heritage Foundation initially filed a Freedom of Information Act request to obtain Harry's visa application records, which was denied by the Department of Homeland Security on privacy grounds. The think tank then took legal action, arguing that releasing the documents was in the public interest, given the US government's general policy of barring drug users from entry. In September 2024, US District Judge Carl Nichols ruled that there was not a strong enough public interest to justify overriding Harry's privacy rights, but with Donald Trump back in office and a renewed push for transparency, the case has been reopened. And Judge Nichols has asked the DHS to propose redactions while considering a partial release of the documents, emphasizing that he seeks maximum disclosure as long as it doesn't violate privacy. The case has taken on a political dimension, with Trump himself weighing in. In a 2024 interview with Nigel Farage on GB News, Trump suggested that Harry should receive no special treatment and, if he lied on his visa application, should face appropriate action. Trump has long been critical of Harry and Meghan, branding them ungrateful for their criticisms of the royal family and suggesting that if he were president, Harry would be on his own. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage and other right-wing figures have latched onto the issue, portraying it as emblematic of a two-tiered system, where elites are protected while ordinary people face harsh immigration barriers. The Heritage Foundation has also framed the case as a matter of government integrity, arguing that if Harry was granted a waiver or omitted details, it would set a dangerous precedent. While much of the Conservative push to expose Harry's records is politically motivated, the case does raise legitimate questions about fairness in immigration enforcement. If an ordinary applicant with a history of drug use would be denied entry, why should Prince Harry be treated differently? On the other hand, immigration records are generally considered private, akin to medical or financial records, and making an exception for Harry could set a precedent for exposing personal details of other public figures. If it turns out that Harry did misrepresent his drug history, he could theoretically face visa revocation, though such actions are rare. More likely, the controversy will drag on, serving as yet another chapter in the ongoing transatlantic soap opera of the Sussexes. Given the high-profile nature of the case, a political resolution, perhaps an executive decision by Trump, could override legal proceedings. Ultimately, the fight over Harry's visa is more about is more than just his personal history. It's a battle over political narratives, privacy, and the treatment of elites in the immigration system. Whether or not the documents are released, the controversy underscores how Meghan and Harry have become lightning rods in culture wars, drawing fire from both sides of the Atlantic. For Harry, this latest storm may be more damaging than his admission in Spare, because in the United States the rules may be written in law, but their application often depends on who's in power.